My name is Christian from the LMU in Munich, and I will give you a brief introduction on our paper, Drawing Presence, a method for assessing temporal fluctuations of presence status in a VR experience. The question we had is, today we mostly use interviews and questionnaire to assess a presence experience. However, they don't give us detailed insight into temporal fluctuations. For this, usually you have to use behavioral observations or physiological measurements that are highly complex in their applications, and the correlation between the experience and the measurements is not always clear. So we said we need a method that is easy to apply in everyday context because we want people to use it, and it needs to be able to evaluate temporal variations. In the past, we found Garaus' work very interesting that showed that people actually can draw their present experience and express it by that. In contrast to questionnaires, it's really interesting as questionnaires are used after the experience, and you don't really know if it measures the average, the maximum experience of being in VR, or the latest experience somebody had. Slater said, okay, we could count all of this. And Brokney already said, okay, more breaks means less presence. This gives us an indication that a break in presence is something important also that we need to look deeper into. And we could also find that people are actually able to express it over time, during and after the experience. But all of these methods had shortcomings and were not really applicable to everyday context. In UX, we also find some kind of these methods, but for more detailed description, please look into the paper. So we made up a concept of drawing presence. It has 4 steps. The first is somebody has a presence experience, wearing a headset, being in VR. Then the person will take off the headset, and we will ask them to draw the feeling of either being in the real world or the virtual world. We also collect some annotations to get deeper insight on the drawings. And after that, we will analyze these drawings. So we supply you with a method to find certain points in the drawings, which then can be used as numerical values from a database to make actual evaluations on it. For the step 2, we will provide you with this template that people use to draw with some certain question we ask. And if you have collected all the drawings of your experience, or even just one, you can use our descriptive model that is based upon the related work that describes these present experience. So we're the first one that actually summarize all of this work and build a model of it. For example, when you have a break in presence, one important parameter is the time of the presence shift to the real world, and of course how much the shift is targeting the attention of the participant. We then explored our method. We want to know, is the method leads the method to replicable drawings, and is the method able to detect breaks in presence? So we had 30 participants in 3 different randomization groups in the age between 19 to 40. And we put them into an experience that was mainly free of breaks in presence, unintended breaks in presence. And then we used breaks in presence, induced breaks in presence that were based on related work, from a very strong break, a system fallout, to a very subtle break, an unrelated controller vibration. At the end, we had all these drawings. You don't really see much in here yet, but what you can already see, okay, there is something for this one group that all participants reported to be very similar for experience between the participants. We also found reports of breaks in presence that we didn't induce and we couldn't find with the traditional tools we had at hand while preparing this study. We then took the drawings and tried to identify the relevant points we were talking about, and we could identify clearly all the points. This gives us good indications that people actually used the drawing method, as we expected to. We further looked into the detection rate and could find that strong breaks are reported much more than weak breaks. And we looked into the order effects, and we don't have a clear understanding yet, but we could find that something that is happening late in the experience is reported much more often than if it's reported very early in the experience. Further, we could find some indications that people are actually able to express the strengths of a break impression. So the strong break impressions will guide the attention much more to the real world in the drawings than the weak break impressions. The limitations, of course, are we had a 50-minute long experience. What will happen in 1 hour long experience? Do people forget more breaks? What is about breaks of other types of strengths? And of course, we didn't look into interaction effects. So if we vary type strengths, the duration of a break presence. So as a takeaway, we say our drawings are really replicable. They are actually feasible for everyday context. It's easy to collect and easy to evaluate. We could show that it's sensible to different kind of breaks and presence, and we also provide an Android application that enables you to automatically collect and analyze these drawings. Further questions, feel free to contact us.